Hi, good evening. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is well and welcome. And today I want to share with you my story and really just talking to you about how I got here to using AI agents for what I'm doing for myself, but also for care business owners as well. My story is that 2 years ago I was thinking about this and I was fighting against AI when I first started. I must admit, I was, didn't understand it well. I saw I thought about the worst side of it, but I then started to embrace the positives that you can get with using AI. And I wanted to share this with you today in terms of how you can really get your time back and to get your freedom back. So if you're wanting to learn about AI automation, then this is the perfect place to be, especially for healthcare businesses as well. So I, I think about this on a regular basis. How can I improve things? How can I make things better? Because we've been working the old school way. We've been doing things the long way round. We've been working harder, but not smarter. And I just feel that, when 2024 came for me, I was like, there's got to be a better way for all of us. AI was being brought in to our faces. We were seeing it more. It's being introduced more, for example. And I thought to myself, hey, let me give it a go. Let's see what it can do to help with my clients, but also to help with my business as well that I run. So I don't know if any of you are using AI. Well, you probably are and don't even realize it. If you're using ChatGPT, for example, if you're using, there's lots of things that involves AI. For example, our emails, there's lots of things that triggers actions and things to happen. And really it's been creeping up on us in a way that we didn't even imagine that it would be like it is today. And since the pandemic, when that happened, it really brought this to the forefront that AI can be done because we've been working from home. So after the pandemic, majority of people were like, I like working from home, unless you are, a frontline staff member, for example, and you have to be there at work, then you don't have that choice, do you? So it really depends where you're coming from. I really want to make us all be aware of how we can benefit from AI in our business. This is the group that, I built several years ago, and it's for healthcare businesses. And for me, with the AI coming along here and making it so that we're more aware of what AI can do in our business lives, as well as people are using it in their personal lives as well. And it's about embracing the parts that you want to embrace, for example. It really is about joining and coming along and seeing what AI can do for you. I'm going to share with you what I've created, only a small part of it, because what I want to say to you all is that every business, you have different needs. So it's looking at what those needs are. And if you're if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. If you're watching the live, then hashtag live, for example. But I really want to be able to share this with you so that you're seeing about what AI can do for you. So I'll talk you through what I've created, and then I'll put a video here for a live demonstration, for example, for you all to see what I've created. Now, for some reason, my post is still saying posting, so I believe that's why you're not possibly seeing me right now. But don't worry, I'll share the video with you afterwards as well. Okay, so first of all, with regards to our AI compliance tracker, is that we have an AI agent which is called the AI recruiter, and what happens is that this is done on a platform called Fill Out Form, for example. Quite straightforward. You can purchase it and then you can create your AI agents, but I'm going to talk you through what it is that I've created, for example, and then what will happen is that we will then be able to do a application. So if someone is applying for a job, because when you're recruiting, you know that you get hundreds and hundreds of application forms coming through and you've got to screen them. So this AI agent can actually speed things up. Hundreds of applications can come through, but they will be shortlisted within seconds. So you could have like 100 or more, for example, shortlisted, who, whatever time they fill the application form out. And then once they come to the form, which would be your company form, your AI agent, your AI recruiting agent, you would press start, and then the candidate then fills out the form, for example. They would then put their details in, like their first name, surname, email, the role that they're applying for, because you would have a list of roles that they're applying for. Maybe it's a healthcare worker, nurse, other, for example. And then the years of experience. Then they're able to upload their CVs. They would also upload their cover letter. It's optional that they do that. And then next. And then once that's happened, an email will be sent to the candidate that's applied for the position. And if they've been shortlisted, because you would do a scoring criteria, that they must meet certain criteria in order to pass the initial stage, so that you're not wasting your time or theirs as well. Once that's been done, then they've been qualified and shortlisted, then they will then get an email for them to complete the second stage of the application. And at this point is when they would fill out the forms, i.e. they would be, putting in their details, their qualifications, their certificates, their DBS, for example. All of these things will be sent, and it will go to a Google Drive, for example. So it will be kept on your server, for example. And then once they've sent all of those things to you, then what would happen is it would go onto a healthcare, which I call a healthcare compliance tracker. On that will be completely a list of items that will then, the person would then go onto the compliance tracker system, which is the AI agent as well. And then it would have the name of the candidate so that you can see all of the candidates listed. And you'll also get to see what their experience is and their scoring criteria is, what the summary is. And you go on there and it will tell you that the person is highly experienced, or, it will give you feedback about each applicant that applies for the position. So you can see it just at a touch of a button. You'll be able to see all of that. And I wanted to just quickly explain that to you. I will be putting the video up here. But the healthcare tracker, it will have the position that they applied for, their email, the candidate name, what their ID is, for example. The data will cover, that they've been shortlisted and how experienced that person is, and, what the number of the scoring that they got, for example. It would have the cover letter, it would have the date it was processed, it would have the score, for example, it would have the summary, the right to work, all of the different things would be listed here to let you know that you've got all of the details that you need for this particular system for recruiting your candidates. And this AI agent is so quick and fast that it can be done in minutes. For example, hundreds of applicants can be done all in one go, and it will shortlist. And once they've completed that application form, the second application form, they would then, and they've uploaded their documents, their compliance documents, they would then be sent to a scheduling page to schedule their interview, and it would go to your calendar so that you can see the interviews that you have, that you've scheduled for your organization, for example, and then you are taken to a Zoom on that particular day, time, for example. The candidate gets emailed to let them know that they have got an interview. They can also be called as well, just to confirm, and all you have to do is show up for the interview and interview the candidate, and you'll have all of the forms in there in your drive, so that you can see the drive, so that you can see the qualifications, so that you can talk to the candidate whilst you're on the phone with them. And like I said, today is a quick short video about AI agents for care business owners. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to post after this video, there's going to be another video about how this works. You'll get to see the live demo. So if you want to see the live demo, then please do listen to the video that's on here. I also would encourage you to book a free 30-minute AI audit so that I can go through your organization with you to discuss what tools would be suitable for your company right now, where you are in your business. It will help you to scale. It will reduce burnout if you're feeling overwhelmed, or maybe your staff members may be feeling overwhelmed. Well, this is the reason why I created the AI agents, so that you don't feel overwhelmed, so that you don't feel that you're doing this on your own, because these AI agents are here to help you. A company who is doing AI agents, for example, as a care business, as a regulator, for example, they are really getting to grips with it, getting to understand it. And we've already started to, push this out. And this is the reason why I'm doing a demonstration here, just to talk to you about what the AI agents can do. And I will be coming on here regularly like I used to do. And it's been a while since I've been coming on here on a regular basis, because I want you to learn and understand about AI. I've like I said, this group has been here for a very long time, and I think it's good that we move with the times and we learn new things and become stronger in what we're doing, because at the end of the day, we've gone into doing this type of business so that we can leave a legacy, for example, so that we can help those that are vulnerable in the community. And our AI agents are compliant. For example, we are not, putting it out there whereby your clients, i.e. your clients in the community, for example, or in a care home, for example, their information will be safe because it will be on your server. So I hope that that was a bit of an explanation about what I do. Stay tuned for the next video so that I can share with you live about our AI agents and what they can do. So I hope that you've enjoyed today. Let me know that you've watched the video, and I'll put a link here for you to book a free 30-minute audit for AI, and I can go through that with you in greater depth. So have a wonderful evening, everyone, and take care. Thank you. Bye. Good evening. Good evening. This is Christine. I am back, and this is the live demonstration that I was talking about earlier. So the form, this is one of our AI agents, which is a recruiter form, for example, and this recruiter form is basically the application form that the candidate will fill out when they apply for a position with your organization. Now, this is all done through AI agents. It's all automated. All you've got to do is provide them with a link, and then the agents will do the rest of the work. So imagine I see a job description and there's a job vacancy. I go to apply for that position. For example, I would be taken to a form. It depends what your company name is. You would have it on in your company logo, etc. Once the form has been triggered to the candidate, they would then press start. So once you press start on this form, and I just want to, just make sure that we are all on the same page. So I'm just checking to see if it is on the correct page, which it is. I would then fill out my details. For example, I would put my first name, my surname, my email, my position that I'm applying for example, and the years of experience that I have. I would also upload CVs, for example, which I have them here. So I would upload the CVs, and I'll just do that. I'll just fill out this form quickly whilst you're here, for example, so I can show you. I'll fill out the form, and then once we're there, we would then upload the document. So I would press this, and then I would upload the document, for example, and it could be any type of document. For example, I don't have the CVs, etc. So like I said, I will do in a separate video. Then I would press next, and then what would happen is once I've filled out the form, I would get an email. For example, I would get an email to say that I've completed the application stage and I've been shortlisted. So then I would then get another link automated for me to complete the form itself, for example. And this would be where I would then complete the second stage of my application, and from that point I would then get my invitation, for example, to book an appointment schedule for me to attend interview. Now, there is a form, for example, once the application form has been filled in, the the CV screening system would then pick up the screening for the candidates, for example. So, for example, like I said, once this person has completed their candidate, has completed their application form, it will just give you a summary of the role and also the years of experience that that person has, as well as the scoring, for example, 8, 9, or 9, for example, as you can see here. But what I also want to mention is that you would put that information into the agents, for example, so that you get the candidate that you're looking for example, for your organization. And you'll get a list of those that have been shortlisted, will automatically go on here, as well as those that haven't met the grade, so to speak. So once that's happened, for example, it will also give you like a short summary, for example, of the candidate once they've completed that form and they've filled out the 2 forms and uploaded their documents. It will then go into your document folder, wherever you want it to go to, for example, where it's still on your server, still on your system. And then from that point, you would then be able to have them attend interview. So at that point, they would then schedule, and they would then say the time that's available for them to attend the interview, so that you're also there with them. So you would, grey out your calendar, you would put your availability, so the candidate schedules automatically. So this is really a straightforward automation. It's not involving you. The only thing that's involved at that time, the only time that you're involved as a human, is that you will be there at interview. Because although we have AI agents and it's automated, we still need that human touch to be able to make sure that everything is being done correctly. Because at the end of the day, admin isn't human, but care needs human being to be able to deliver the service that you've set out to do. So I just wanted to quickly, briefly discuss that with you, how our AI agents, one of our small AI agents, how they work, the recruiter system. Everything is automated, and really it's there to make things a lot easier for you